Hi guys, so today we're going to pit
quarterly versus annual.
what are the differences? Well, quarterly inspections, you're going to have your system tested, make sure that everything's open and functional and doing what it's supposed to do, that there's pressure on the gauges, that everything's in good enough shape to work. It's a functionality test for your fire sprinkler system. Making sure that signals are sent to the fire alarm panel and that water is available, that somebody hasn't come and shut a valve somewhere. Annual inspections are a little bit different. Annual inspections, we're going to not only inspect all of this and test all of this, but then we're also going to go into all of the rooms, look at every fire sprinkler in the building, look at all the exposed piping in the building, make sure there's no leaks, no problems, no painted stuff, nothing of concern, nothing hanging from the fire sprinklers or the fire sprinklers piping, which is not allowed. We're going to visually inspect, which takes a lot longer. We're also probably going to test your fire pump if you have one, flow test it instead of just running it. There's a lot more involved in the annual inspection, and it takes a lot longer. It needs a lot more access because we have to look at every single fire sprinkler in every single little locked room, all of them. Otherwise, the inspection's not complete. There are quarterly inspections for fire alarm, for other systems. They're a little bit more in depth than the quarterly for the fire sprinkler. It's kind of separated differently, whereas they would do a quarter of your system for an annual, for a fire alarm. We're testing your system devices and making sure that there's water there, and that's it. And then we're not walking through, we're not looking at leaks. If we see a leak, of course, we're going to write it up, but that's just going to be at the riser. It's not going to be throughout the system, because we're not going to be looking at it. Hope this answered your question on the difference between
Quarterly versus annual.
Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.
Catch Fire Protection Answers.